Assalamu alaikum to everybody. Here I am in a mood to basically discuss the very important thing. What's that thing? What's that thing? See here, if I will consider some system, it is composed of certain number of particles, right? I am considering these dots as particles of my system and I don't know exactly what's my system. Further, if I will presume the particles are in a state of motion, then under that situation particles will have kinetic energy. So if the particles of the system are very large in number, in that particular case it will be much difficult for me to know kinetic energy of each and every particle. For this case, what we are usually going to do, we will use a technique. That technique is basically known as average technique. Okay, now at the same time, when we talk about the interaction, how particles will lead to interaction with each other, for that sake there is a term of energy known as potential energy, because potential energy is basically more or less regarding the interaction of the system of the particles and all that. So here I will write down the equation at the first moment. 2 times average of kinetic energy is sum beta times average of potential energy. Right now, if I will look at this equation, beta is only strange parameter here, so this beta I can call here what's called that interaction parameter, right? Interaction parameter. So let me tell you why it is known as interaction parameter, because it will give basically the extent of interaction, and that interaction can be calculated by means of the potential energy. And regarding this beta, it is going to be the power on the distance in the potential energy term, right? If I will just write down here potential energy, it is just proportional to R with some power beta. Now this beta will basically decide here extent of interaction. Now this is a moment basically to implement some sort of physics in it. How? Let me just tell you. If I will say this system, before it was just known to me how this system will behave physically. Right now, if I will just use my idea, this system will act as harmonic oscillator. This system will act as harmonic oscillator. More essentially, if I will say it's my 1D harmonic oscillator, 1D oscillator, this system of particles will act. Now I know basically one thing, how potential energy will vary with the distance. In case of 1D SHM, potential energy is proportional to the distance, right, square. Now this beta is basically here what I can say 2. If I will put the value of beta in a given equation, what I will get here, very interesting. This is the equation that, you know, when we talk about the oscillator system, always kinetic energy is equal potential energy. More essentially, average of kinetic energy is equal the average of potential energy for the system that is said to be known as oscillator system. Now, not only this, if I will look at the system like this system right now, for me it's what I can call as atomic system. You know, when system is atomic, there we know nucleus is there and electrons are just circulating around the nucleus, and potential energy of the electron with respect to the nucleus, it is going to be proportional to the x with power of -1. If I will put the value of beta here -1 for a single particle system, it doesn't matter whether I will use average or anything, because average of a single particle is simply the kinetic energy in a usual way. So I can write here 2 times of kinetic energy is just minus of potential energy, and this is a very familiar result when we talk about atomic system. Always twice kinetic energy is equal minus of potential energy. This result is known to us, and average of kinetic energy is equal the average of potential energy. This result is also known to us. If we can use this statement here, only we want to know here basically the power of interaction in case of potential energy term, right? We can simply substitute the value of beta, we will get to know immediately what's called that the relation between average of kinetic and potential energy for a given system and all that. Thank you.